And thank you for joining us here on PM Express. We are counting down to Saturday. What's happening on Saturday? It is the MPP presidential primaries. And tonight we have a conversation with one of the aspirants. Francis Addai Nimo is my guest tonight here on PM Express. We are building up to this. Today, we've seen a massive rally by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in the Upper East region. We also seen Kennedy Japan also contesting and making a lot of inroads into the delegate structure. As far as the Bawumia's base is concerned, it's really promising to be a very keenly contested race indeed on Saturday. And one of them in the race who believes he can cause an upset of a sort, but many believe he hasn't got a chance in heaven for that to happen, is Francis Addai Nimo. He's going to be my guest today. He has a very interesting history with contesting for various positions in the party, either in the parliamentary race or in the presidential race. He has a very interesting story to tell. But this is a race that some have suggested may even go to a runoff. And he possibly may be one of those who get a few votes that contributes to that particular outcome, if that happens at all. But if you listen to the Bawumia camp, they are absolutely emphatic that this ain't going to happen. I will introduce you to two polls on this particular primary on Saturday that tells two distinct stories of what might happen on Saturday. Let's get into it. So what do we know? Listen, we are going into Saturday on the backdrop of the Superdelegates Congress, and that is very important, and that's where we start from tonight, because we look at Kennedy Japan and his performance in that particular primary, that the Superdelegates who whittled down the number to 5, and he surprised a lot of people, because many people thought he was definitely going to cause some sort of an upset, but nobody thought he was going to beat Alan Chamantin to it. And then another backdrop to Saturday is Alan Chamantin's withdrawal. But he is a one to watch. 132 votes he got in that elections. And then you also have the man himself, the vice president, who of course is the chairman of the economic management team, securing 629 of the votes at 68.15%. And his target in the primary on Saturday, as we've heard from his own people, is to go way above 70%. But he, here, is attempting to do something many people believe is impossible. But if you follow him, and those who have been traveling with him, and something we'll be unveiling on Friday night, is the work we've been doing with the teams that are attached to both campaigns, and the monitoring that we are doing on the ground to give you a sense of the vibe among delegates going into Saturday. You want to join us on election eve on Friday. We'll give you a sense of what is going to happen. Many people believe this is a foregone conclusion. It may be the case. However, we really want to see what the margins are between these two gentlemen here, the vice president and Kennedy Japan. And so that is where we are. Again, you have the former Greek minister, who today we featured in our special report going into the primary, Dr. Friakoto, 36 votes. He told us he wasn't expecting that. He was expecting something far more than 36 votes in the Superdelegates Congress. This is the backdrop of the primary. Who is going to do far better than they did in the Superdelegates Congress? We're just about short shy of 1,000 delegates voted. The superdelegates voted. This is 200,000. So it is chalk and cheese, really. But if this was an indication, then of course he is going to possibly struggle to pull anything more than he currently have if you compare proportionally to the number of people who will be voting in that particular elections. And then you have the man who's going to join me tonight, Francis Addai Nimo. And something you notice as I go through this, and we're focusing on him tonight, something you notice as I go through this, that he is almost always in the fourth or the third position when he contests in the MPP races. And you see that he's done this before. Over time, he always crosses the superdelegates threshold when he contests in those elections, and then he goes into the main primary and then places third or fourth. And if history is anything to go by, and sometimes you study history in politics and you can predict where somebody will end up, we believe he's possibly going to be again in the fourth or third position in elections. And so we'll ask him about that. So is he wasting his time knowing that that's where he's going to place? I'll come to the numbers that tell me he may well just be whiling away the time in this race. Does he even agree with that? He'll join me with a conversation when he joins me right now. Because if you really look at it, in the Superdelegates Congress, they really didn't like him. He got 0 in a number of regions across the country. Significant. There were a total of 17 places where they voted on regional basis. Remember that in Greater Accra they had 2 centers, so that made it 17. He got 0 in all but 4, and only 6 in the headquarters of the party. So why does he believe that he can even perform anything close to meaningful numbers in the primary? But here's the argument he will make, and let's see if he makes that when he sits down, that there were 10 of us in the race. All I needed to do was to be part of the 5. And yes, I'm part of the 5. And so he's going to take his chances in the primary. Remember that there was some controversy around that primary that he was part of in the superdelegates elections in August, which was the fact that there was a tie between himself and Mr. Jacko. Mr. Jacko pulled out of the race on principle, because he believed it was unconstitutional that the party has changed the agreed plan from allowing every of the 900 plus delegates to vote to break the tie, and rather constituting the National Council into Special Electoral College to decide this. That's a man of principle. Why didn't he take the same line to show to the people that he's a man of conviction? We'll ask him that question when he joins us for a conversation tonight. And then let's delve deeper into the numbers, shall we? Because we are looking at the MPP and who leads the MPP and what the polls are saying. And this is what I call the clash of the polls. This, by the way, is Global Info Analytics poll. And they tell us that Bawumia, yes, will win, but will win with 43.50% of the votes. And here's the thing. If he doesn't get across the 50+1 vote, then there's possibly going to be a runoff. And they'll have to go into a voting. That means one person emerges with a simple majority, wins out. And that's why you've seen that the camp of Dr. Bawumia aren't happy with this particular poll. And they've said they want to go into the region of 70 and 75. And I told you about Addai Nimo's performance over the years in 3rd or in 4th place. And Global Info Analytics seem to have caught up on this too, when the delegates that are polled told the story of him placing in 3rd place with this number of votes. Well, if you see there, Free Akoto is also there. And this is significant. 14% say they wouldn't disclose who they're going to vote for. But the number that pops up here is undecided of 18.3%. And that for me is key. First of all, I find it really difficult to believe, but it's the case because Global Info Analytics have polled the people, that we have 18.30% of delegates in the party of the 200,000 delegates telling people that they are undecided. Are they really undecided at this point? Maybe they simply do not want to disclose. But if they are undecided, who will they decide for when they enter the booth? And that is a very important point to note. A lot will happen on Friday night, going into Saturday, that may change their minds. Change the minds of these 18.30%. And that is what we'll be doing on Friday evening when you join us here on the special election eve coverage ahead of this. So that's a Global Info Analytics poll. And then on Sunday, another poll emerged with completely different results being predicted. And this poll is one that was done by the Center for Sustainable African Development Initiative. It's a joint poll done based in the UK. And they give Dr. Bawumia 80.80% of the votes in the Superdelegates conference in the primaries on Saturday. That's a very interesting number there. And Kennedy Japan, of course, as predicted, will come in 2nd place, but with 10.40%. Now, this obviously is the poll that is pretty close to what Dr. Bawumia's own people have predicted, right? And that is a very interesting poll indeed, suggesting that he's getting this. Considering that Alan Kyerematen is out of the race, many look at this as a real possibility. That if Alan Kyerematen was in the race, and the argument was that his real base is in the grassroots of the party, he may have pulled even far more, despite the disappointment of the Superdelegates Congress, where he came in 3rd when nobody expected that would be the outcome. But he's out of the race. And so many say, well, it is a walk in the park. And 80 may well be the case on Saturday by close-up poll. We'll see. Kennedy Japan will have a say about that also. Dr. Free Akoto there according to this poll, in third, and then Addai Nimo again, as I say, in fourth. But of course, why not? There are only 4 people in this race, so you're either in that position, which is that you are last in the race on Saturday, or you are in this particular position here. But then they are undecided of 7.30%. The most important similarity I see is a huge gap. All of them say they are undecided delegates. So the key question in terms of strategy is, have all these individuals identified these undecided delegates, and what message are they telling them and giving them to try and get them to decide in their favor? Friday night will be the deciding night. People make up their minds. Sometimes these individuals in this group make up their minds. They want to wait to the very last minute to see if anything changes their minds. And so that number will be very crucial in seeing if he gets the number he wants in the highs of 70 and close to 80, as has been predicted here, or he causes an upset and moves this into a runoff. Very interesting times ahead between now and Saturday, indeed. And then, of course, if you look at the race, as we've seen, Addai Nimo, he's been there before, and I want to circle him out for you. That's him here, and that's him here, right? And you see him there placing in the superdelegates of 2014 in third place, makes the mark, crosses the barrier into the 5 that went on to contest. And then in that race, in the main race itself, he then comes in again in third position with 0.91%. And history says this is where he's placed over time. What will change now? Because again, you have a dominant establishment candidate in there, this time in the name of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who many expect to get significant numbers to win this. The key question is the margins and the votes. So what would Addai Nimo do if indeed he has any chance at all in this race? He will tell us when he joins us for a conversation here on PM Express right after this.
About 1/3 of a million people live with HIV in Ghana. Close to 10,000 of them die each year, mostly as a result of a lack of antiretroviral drugs and adherence. In fact, close to 57% of children under 14 years living with HIV do not receive antiretroviral drugs, again as a result of inadequate funds to provide them with medication.
Life expectancy for these children is grim. The big worry: close to 16,300 people are newly infected with HIV each year. With this alarming rate of HIV infections, all of us are in danger, and Ghana is headed for an epidemic explosion if nothing is done now to avert it. While the Ghana AIDS Commission is working hard to overturn the situation, the Commission urgently needs funding support from corporate Ghana and individuals to save lives. We're therefore appealing to you, corporate entities and individuals, to support the National HIV and AIDS Fund by dialing *9898# on MTN and Vodafone and follow the prompts, or pay into the National HIV and AIDS Fund account number 101-863-161-3233, Bank of Ghana. Your donation will be used to prevent new infections and provide care for people living with HIV, including children affected by AIDS. For further information, please call Ghana AIDS Commission on 0302 919260 or email info@ghanaids.gov.gh. Give to save a life today. Ghana AIDS Commission, partnering to eliminate HIV and AIDS.
Can he tee up someone in red? And it goes to
That's who goal is for. I got 5 Champions League. You want to know? I be the real goal, chairman. I be the real goal. The left magician.
Who is the goat? Ghana Jollof or Nigeria Jollof?
Ghana Jollof has no co-equal. The smell alone. Oh my God.
No, that shift. You two they lie, eh? Now the same stew when they use cook the rice and then they go put them for top.
Hey, you are lying. Ghana Jollof.
Are you busy? Forget everybody. Yeah. My guy. Put your papa in the jar. Put put some respect on the goat.
On the goat. The only goat I know lives in Tema.
Every year, we dey give to you back.
We are talking about PET. I want to hear the face.
Except be the goat, huh?
My guy, he be the goat.
Though our choice of goats may differ in football, music, and jollof, Alomo Bitters always brings us together. Alomo, experience greatness in every moment.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18 and recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Daddy, this tank is big.
Yes, that's true.
It can store a lot of water.
That's so true.
Wow, it has a working tortoise on it.
That's so true.
I can see SINTEX. Syntax.
That is so true, my daughter.
When it falls down, it will spoil.
That's not true.
But why?
Hey! Syntex was the first to introduce double-layer tanks in Ghana. Syntex again was the first to introduce white inner layers in Ghana. Syntex gives you the biggest warranty, 7 years. No matter your water needs, Syntex is the answer. Syntex tank. Are you strong? Are you tough?
Thinking of investing in real estate? Then look no further. BOA is a well-recognized institution that would give you litigation-free properties. We have well-furnished and unfurnished 4 to 8 bedroom houses, luxurious homes, comfortable mansions, and litigation-free lands across the country. From Tema, East Legon, Medina, West Hillsmore, Accra, and other locations, we are definitely your best to go to. For more information, kindly contact BOA Unique Homes on 0506-859-513 or 0506-859-527 or follow us on our social media handles on Instagram at BOA_homes or YouTube BOA Homes. BOA Unique Homes. We build, we buy.
Hello, kids! Are you ready to turn up the heat and show the world their culinary skills? It's that time again. It's the season 3 of the ultimate cooking competition for kids. It's Big Chef. This is your chance to prove to the world that your culinary creations are a recipe for success. Are you between the ages of 8 and 14 years and have the passion for cooking? Don't miss out on this sizzling opportunity. Share with us a 2-minute video of yourself cooking your favorite meal to a WhatsApp number 055-157-5757. You have from now till 9th November 2023 to come along and let's turn these kitchen dreams into a reality. Big Chef, good meals by kids.
Big Chef Season 3 is brought to you by Frital, Fortune Rice, Indomie, Tasty Tom, Flora Tissues, Kiki Juice Drink, Makana Market.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint. As compared to other paint brands on the market, we take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
And PM Express is always brought to you by Syntex Tanks. It is strong. Alomo Bitters experience greatness in every moment. Ghana AIDS Commission. Syntex tanks, as you know, it is the tank for you because it is the first to introduce the double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex tanks is first to introduce the white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now we introduce you to customer specs order. Bespoke. That's the tank for you indeed. You don't get in the tank where you can just call and order what you want, and the Syntex tank. They give you this longest warranty also. 7 years, which no other tank gives you in Ghana. So whatever your water consumption, size of project or demand, choose Syntex tanks. We have agents across the country. 0244-335168, 0244-335168, or shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tanks, are you strong, are you tough? My guest is in the studio with me, and we are counting down to Saturday. He's one of the individuals who's going to be on the ballot for the party seeking to lead it into the 2024 elections. He is Francis Addai Nimo. He's the MPP presidential aspirant. Thank you, sir, for joining us on PM Express.
Well, thank you very much, Evans, for having me.
You have 3 days to go.
Sure.
How are you spending these last days approaching Saturday?
Well,
apart from, of course, spending time with me tonight.
Yes, we have 3 days to go, and having sent out your message to delegates, and having communicated your message to delegates, you also need to do some administrative work. The administrative work involves selection of your polling agents, and you need to identify reliable polling agents who will be at the various voting centers.
Policing the vote.
Policing the votes, making sure that the records be accurate for you without any machinations. And so we are going through that process, and it is a tedious process. There are 276 voting centers, plus the headquarters, 277. Some of the voting centers in some constituencies are split into 2. So the total voting centers is getting to about 340 or 350. And you need 2 polling agents
for each of these centers. Do you have all of them?
Absolutely.
You have all of them?
That is correct.
The 2 polling agents for the, as you said, 300.
Yes.
You're talking about 600 people.
Sure, there are more than 600.
How are you funding this?
Well, you need to fund it. I mean, that is...
How? That's my question.
Yeah, I know that how, but you have got to fund it. That is part of your campaign.
And this is in addition to the tour you have to do to all constituencies, meeting delegates.
Evans, if you tour the constituencies, you meet the delegates. At the end, there is going to be arithmetics. The arithmetics will be counting the 1, 2, 3 votes to be added up, to be summed up, to determine the votes and the percentage that you will secure. So once you have gone out, you have done all this, whether fanfare or through other means of reaching out to delegates, and you do not make sure that at the polling center, you are reliably represented by some people, 2 agents, that are looking at your interest and their interest as well. So that the exact votes that you secure at each polling center will be recorded. And then the collation, there's also going to be a collation at the various regional offices of the Electoral Commission. And you also need to be there to make sure that the votes that are coming from the respective constituencies are the actual votes being collated by the EC.
Okay.
And then also the National Coalition Center.
That sounds to me like a very costly venture.
Well, you have got to plan for all these things in the scheme of...
How much did you budget then for this campaign?
Why do you want to know?
Oh, because you mentioned plan. It's definitely part of the plan.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
I mean, the financial... You want to push me to put out figures?
Yes, please.
Yes. But let me restrain myself.
Give me a range.
Well, if you have to look at the total number of delegations, maybe across the country over 200,000. Administrative components of your budget, fuel operation, fuel, accommodation, feeding your staff all over the place, across the country. It's huge. It runs into millions of dollars.
Okay. For both the superdelegates and the presidential primaries,
Yes.
or both, or
Yes,
just
both,
one?
both.
Both. So give me a range. So you said millions of dollars, 1 million to 10?
Well,
just give me a range. Just to give me a sense of what we're talking about.
I do not want to give you a range, and I will not. The reason that it depends on each candidate.
In your candidate, what is the factor? Because it says it depends on each candidate.
Yes.
So in the Addai Nimo case, what are the determinants of how much you spend?
Well, you can even plan all the way from the constituency level elections into the regional level elections, into the national officers elections. And these activities will take place, or these events will take place prior to the commencement of the process to elect the flag bearer. And so it depends on how each person...
What's your strategy?
My strategy was to look at the constituency, to look at the region, to look at national.
So you didn't do polling? The polling center elections, polling agents?
No, because that is too big a base. That is too big a base.
But those people form the delegates.
I know.
They are the vast majority of the delegates.
They constitute about 93, over 90%.
So what you're confirming tonight is, if you don't ensure that you are significantly represented by people who believe in your cause at that level, you are possibly setting yourself up to lose if you intend to run for primaries.
Not really, because the base is too huge. Evans, for the polling station executives alone, you are talking about 193,000. And that is between 90 and 95% of the entire delegation for the selection of the flag bearer. And how can you reach out? How can you be everywhere in that contest? You can't. So it is how you will also endear yourself to the rank and file of the party. And that comes in different approach.
So you started attacking this from the constituency elections.
Yes, you need to look at that one.
And what was your objective there?
Well, the objective is that you want to see that, yes, you can have some reliable people elected to the constituency offices.
Define reliable.
Reliable here is that in case you decide to run for the flag bearership and you are going to the constituency, at least you can count on someone who will help you to identify a team that you work with. Let me take an example. You and I don't come from Lambusi constituency, but I need to find somebody that I can rely on.
An elected officer at the constituency
Well,
level.
if I can find him or her, that will be great. If I cannot find that person, then I need to look outside the party structure. And it will interest you to know that sometimes there are other influential people who are not holding positions in the party at the constituency level. And once you establish that relationship with them, and they believe in your cause, in your vision, and they think that they can cooperate with you, that is great. Mind you, Evans, and for your viewers, the major aspect of the work is how to identify quality people and bring them into your team.
You have that?
Why not? It takes time to do it.
Yeah, you've done it before. You've had all the time.
But it's dynamic. It's not static. And sometimes somebody that you work with in this election, in the next election, you may not get that person. That is human nature. He may decide to switch camp to another.
So let's be blunt. So in this presidential primary, does Addai Nimo have enough of these surrogates positioned across the country, willing to, one, vote for you, because they are delegates, two, mobilize and convince others to do the same for you?
Sure, we have. I mean, it's a network. And that is how we operate. So you may not find Addai Nimo's campaign being of so much a fanfare, but it's an effective submarine campaign.
And I put it to you that it's so because you simply don't have the money. You don't have the means to do it.
No. Even if you have the means to do it, do you want to dissipate the resources anyhow? I don't think so. You've got to be very prudent in the usage of your resources. If you have it in abundance.
Do you have it in abundance?
No, I don't have it in abundance as compared to others.
So this is relative to what others have. So what would you describe yours? If it's not abundance, is it?
Well, the minimum.
Okay, you have the minimum.
The minimum. And of course...
And I need to ask many people are thinking that. What is the minimum nowadays?
You still want me to go back?
Because I'm curious.
And, well, Evans, let me be blunt here. It is how you develop your strategic plan and have a cost estimate to that strategic plan to execute in order to secure the flag bearership of the party.
And your cost estimate was?
I've told you that is a figure for my own self.
But at least you give us a sense that it is in millions of dollars.
Yeah, of course. So it is in millions of Ghana cedis.
Oh, not dollars.
I mean, there's an exchange rate, so you can always convert.
Okay. But your first instinct is to, of course, then conceptualize it in dollars, because, of course, it helps you to remain stable, at least.
Well, we are aware that, yes.
Processes, of course. Yes. It makes sense, of course, because then you can say, you're planning this for a 3-year period. If you say you have $2 million for this, it remains $2 million. Yes. Whether it's 2 years or 3 years, irrespective of the exchange rate says. So I get your point. But it's in millions of dollars. That is prohibitive. I mean, do you agree with those who say it's become too expensive, we monetize this too much, and it's time to roll back?
Well, I believe that this is not what was anticipated when we decided in 2009 to expand the delegateship for the election of either the flag bearer or parliamentary candidates. We saw how things were in 2007 as a party, New Patriotic Party. And then we lost the elections in 2008. In 2009, we made these major amendments. One of the objectives in expanding the Electoral College was to cure the monetization.
Too big to pay for everybody.
Yes. But now we are realizing that that's not solved it. In fact, 9 years ago, when I contested for the first time to secure the leadership nomination. 2014. The party was in opposition. So a party in opposition behavior appears or is different from a party behavior in government. And that is what we are witnessing.
You have to explain that a bit more. What do you mean?
What I mean is that if you are in opposition, because of inaccessibility to resources, by virtue of those who will be in public elected in public positions, because of that inaccessibility or the limited accessibility. So fundraising tends to be a bit low. When you are in government, then it is the opposite. So people think that there must be some abundance of resources that must be pumped into the electioneering process. And for me, it is worrisome. We are experiencing it. So all of us in this game, we have seen it. So when we expanded and got over 200,000 delegates, the belief was that this should be able to cure the monetization. Assuming you have 200,000 delegates, and you go to a constituency and you give each person as a way of your TNT, cost of transport, of 100 Ghana cedis. That straight away gives you 20 million Ghana cedis. By the simple multiplication, gives you 20 million Ghana cedis. And that is not the end. Your logistics, vehicles, move around, fuel, your vehicles, to maintain your vehicles, your accommodation, your feeding. There will be other incidental costs that will arise. So it is worrisome. And that is why people are thinking, including my good self, how do we find a solution?
What solution we propose?
I have proposed one solution.
Sure.
That the campaign for such a process to be in the hands of the party structure being led by the national party, the regional party, and the constituency party.
I don't understand. What difference would that make?
It will. Assuming we have to go on a constituency tour, and there are 5 contestants, everybody should contribute. It's going to cost us, let's say, 1,000 Ghana cedis.
Put it in the pool.
Put it in the pool, everybody contribute. Then the party takes that money. The party has to organize that platform for all of you, the contestants. So you are going there to deliver your message to the delegates. You don't pay anything. It's now for the party structure to remit delegates who showed up by way of their TNT from their various communities to the central point of meetings. So you will see that is...
What have you seen in this campaign from your other contestants?
Well, they may be more resourceful because the 3 of them we are remaining 4. The 3 of them have all been part of the current MPP government under Nana Akufo-Addo, with the exception of Addai Nimo, as you are aware.
Yeah, but Kennedy Dupont has been a member of parliament only.
No, he is also part of the government as a board chairman for Ghana Gas.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that is, on the periphery.
Really? Really? A state institution like Ghana Gas, where they disburse millions of Ghana cedis, and as board chairman you supervise the disbursement of millions of Ghana cedis, and that could even match to the whole budget of a ministry.
Are you saying he's a beneficiary of that distribution?
I don't know. No, I haven't said so. But you supervise. So you cannot...
Supervising doesn't give you the resource directly.
It doesn't, I know. No, you are not just a board chair. A board chair policies will emanate from the board for implementation by management. And as board chair, you cannot absolve yourself from the policies that will come from the board.
I get it, but I don't see how that translates into him being more wealthy in the campaign.
Well, I mean, it depends how you look at it.
How do you look at it?
There can be an inherent, benefit. As a board chairman, there can be an inherent benefit. And so that's why you can't run.
How did you actually sleep last night? If it wasn't an absolute dream, then you need to upgrade your sleep with the softest, most luxurious sheets. I'm here to tell you about Boll & Branch and their dream of bringing everyone a better night's sleep. Boll & Branch makes the softest sheets with the rarest 100% organic cotton. They're made toxin-free in the softest, most breathable weave. And they get even softer with every wash. Millions of Americans are sleeping better in Boll & Branch signature sheets. So make the holidays even more special with 20% off. And it's not just dreamy sheets. All of their bedding, bath, and even their mattresses are all 20% 20% off, and you can shop with confidence. Shipping is always free, and they're offering extended returns to make sure their bedding is right for you. So hurry to BollandBranch.com and use code RESTFUL20 to take 20% off. That's BOLL and branch.com to upgrade your sleep today. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Away from it, another interest may also arise. I may not have evidence to show, but these are all possibilities.
This is costing a lot, but I wonder, in the last time you ran in this race in 2014, you were part of the five.
Sure. Indeed, I was third.
You were third. And then you went into the primary itself, and then again, you were third.
Yes.
Okay. But the margins you got there, and then in the final analysis, you were just 0.9%.
Well,
votes. So considering that it's costing millions of dollars to do this, why do you do this when clearly you're not going to win this?
Where? But who is going to win?
Well, as has been said by the polls, is Baumia is in the lead.
Well,
Kennedy Pond possibly is second. Addai Nimo is definitely not part of those that we expect to win this.
Why do you have surprises in elections? There are surprises. If you have a 100-meter race and you have Usain Bolt in the race, and you have Evans Mensah as also part of the
I'll
race.
concede I'm going to lose.
So you run away from the race?
I will try.
But do you know what will happen to Usain Bolt in the course of the race?
You may get an injury.
Well, so that will give you the opportunity.
You're counting on a miracle.
No, I'm not. But some of these survey or polls, they come, but they don't sometimes give the accuracy of it. In the superdelegates, Addai Nimo was also counted out. Addai Nimo was further counted out.
But you made the mark.
Yes. So,
but yes, you made the mark. But do you accept that it is impossible for Addai Nimo to win?
No, I don't accept that it is impossible. No. Why should it be impossible?
Okay. Do you accept that it is highly improbable for you to win?
Improbable, impossible. So you are just introducing probability.
Yes. Impossible.
But you are dealing with a science-based person, so if you are introducing probability.
Yes. So let's stay there. I know you're an engineer.
Yeah.
Highly improbable.
No. You will never know. On this platform as I'm talking to you, maybe some of our delegates will be watching. And from the conversation, it may also change the minds of the delegates to say that, oh no, this is also a quality material that we have. And he will fit into the position that he is seeking to lead this party. And we believe he can perform.
You got into this position with a tie with Boakye Jaco. And he then decided that he's going to drop out of the race. He was very convinced that the process leading to this was just constitutionally flawed. Because the party had said before, if this happened, there is going to be all 900 plus will vote. You agree with him? Yeah. You agree with him?
Well, yes, because to shift the goalposts in the course of playing the game, it's not fair. That is not how we go about it. So guidelines were established. The committee that is looking at the conduct of this process, in conjunction with the aspirant, came up with the guidelines. And this committee is a committee of the National Council of the party. And so there was supposed to be a runoff, which was clearly stated, provided in the guidelines. And if there is a tie, we have to go through the process. We are aware that a runoff may not have 100% turnout. So some may travel, even some may be within, and there's no edge for them to go and vote. But in this particular case, 2014, there was a tie between my good self and Joe Gatti. And that was not for the 5th position. It was for the 3rd position. But in this instance, it occurred at the 5th position. So it's a new development. And that should guide the party going forward into the future.
You agreed that Bachijako withdrew on principle.
Oh, yes.
But you didn't. You stayed in the race, although you agreed that the constitution was violated.
No. I was ready for the race, for the runoff.
Yes, but they changed the rules.
Well, I'm not a member of the National Council.
Did you object at all?
Well, I mean, once the National Council took that decision, I'm not a member of the National Council. My senior brother, Honorable Bachijako, is a member of the National Council. And therefore, he was also a delegate to the superdelegates election. I wasn't a delegate myself. And so he openly objected. And I also felt that, yes, if that was the process we needed to go through with all the total delegates assembled, some may not come. Let us go through that process. In fact, when the tie happened, myself and Bachijako, we met. We talked among ourselves.
And what was it?
Oh, I mean, friendly interaction. Will you go or will you not go? And both of us agreed that we will go.
Until the change of the rules?
Well, until it happened.
So when he withdrew, did he call you? Did you speak?
No, yes, we have met about twice or 3 times. Yeah. I mean, we are friendly. We are.
On that same score, then I need to ask you. I mean, so there were 10 of you.
Yes.
6 of you now dropped out of the race. I mean, 6 dropped out. 5 were supposed to go, but because of the controversy we talked about, 6 dropped out. Normally, when this happens, people lobby. If you dropped out, can you support me? I wonder if you reached out to any of your aspirants to say, I'm still in the race. Can you back me here?
I mean, can I offer myself for sale? No, Evans. Not at all.
You haven't reached out to
This is Addai Nimo. I'm focused on my ambition. My ambition is not to be shortlisted at the MPP superdelegates election. My ambition is to become the flag bearer and run on the ticket of the party for the presidency of the Republic.
My question is, you need that, but it's a game of numbers. You were 10, 6 are out. Have you reached out to them to say,
no.
Back my candidature? Not at all.
No.
You haven't done any negotiations with your other contestants?
I mean, we will meet. I mean, we are.
You haven't sought to get their support, any of them, at all?
No. Personally?
No.
For the support of the others?
No, I'm talking about the 6 that left.
The 6 that left.
The 6 that left.
Oh, well, I mean, that one, of course.
You have been in conversations with them?
Yes. Not all.
Not all. With the objective of trying to get them to support you?
Of course.
Okay, forgive me. We need to rectify your microphone. I'm going to take a quick break. When I return, that is a conversation that we would have to get a sense of. But I'm also interested to see whether others in the race have also joined, attempted to get him also to join their candidature. And then he says something very profound also, that a party can break the 8 bad conditions. One of them is performance, but also unity. We'll talk about that. Does he really believe the party that he's a member of and is in government currently has performed to break the 8? Stay with me.
Starting this October 20th to 11th of November, the African Football League. Who is going to be crowned Africa's champion of champions and take the lion's share of the 14.4 million prize money? Catch all the games streaming at www.AFL Africa and on FIFA Plus. The African Football League, our game, our home. Now let's shine together.
Kwesi pa. Nansabe na unumi. Whiskey. Wash. All of a sudden, my voice I hear different. And when you saw a call. Barman, bring me the honey whiskey. You know the one? Black Rock Whiskey.
Honey whiskey.
Shale, honey, near frow. Black Rock whiskey is strong. Now so taste me is smooth and it goes down easy. Excuse me. Barman, bring my friend one Black Rock whiskey.
Black Rock whiskey, blended with natural honey flavor.
Hey, what's up?
Barman.
Hey, what the hell for Sikanton Sata?
Black Rock whiskey, Kebby, the feel is smooth, no.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18 years of age and not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Daddy, this tank is big.
Yes, that's true.
It can store a lot of water.
That's so true.
Wow, it has a working tortoise on it.
That's so true.
I can see S-I-N-T-E-X. Syntax.
That is so true, my daughter.
When it falls down, it will spoil.
That's not true.
But why?
Hey! Syntex was the first to introduce double-layer tanks in Ghana. Syntex again was the first to introduce white inner layers in Ghana. Syntex gives you the biggest warranty, 7 years. No matter your water needs, Syntex is the answer. Syntex tank. Are you strong? Are you tough?
You're still live here on PM Express. It's on Joy. It's on Joy News here on the Multi TV channel, and many of you, of course, are curious to know what's going to happen on Saturday. Well, Francis Addai Nimo is one of those who will be on the list, and he's hoping to win the race. He is, of course, an MPP presidential aspirant. And thanks for joining us on PM Express again. Just before the break, I was curious about the negotiations that we know always go on in party politics among various players trying to grow your own numbers, but also build a base, right? And you have 10 people who ran, as I said before we went to the break. 6 of them were out of the race, so they were free to declare sort of support and endorse. And I'm just curious to know if you reached out to any of them.
Yeah, Evans, yes, I have engaged some of them. And these are private discussions that I've had with them. So if I need to give them that confidentiality of my discussion.
The objective of the discussion was to?
Of course. I mean, we are looking for numbers. I'm looking for numbers. My team is looking for numbers. So in their own scheme of things, whatever they can do. And it is not everything that you can put into the public domain. So I will leave that matter as it is.
Were you seeking an endorsement, publicly or privately, of your candidature from the 6 who?
At the end of it, whether the person does it publicly or he does it privately, is the numbers that you want. His base, his network, that can inure to your advantage in the process. I believe that is where surprises will come.
Do you have assurances from some of them?
Yes, I do.
The assurances to the effect that they will?
Well, I have engaged them, Evans. I have engaged.
That they will avail their base to your own?
Well, the conversation is wide. So it depends on how each person will look at it.
Which of them give you their support?
No, I don't need to disclose. I mean, allow me to respect the confidentiality of my private conversation.
There are 6 of them. How many have supported you?
Let's leave it.
You're not disclosing name. You're just telling me number. 1, 2, 3?
No.
Okay. But by yourself, though, there are 4 in the race, including yourself. Have any of the other 3 approached you?
Well, I mean, we are in the same party, and so I can meet you. We talk about it, in a friendly manner. It doesn't mean there's a formal approach. Doesn't mean there's a formal approach. So, I mean, The rest, we talk, we meet informally. And so if you whisper into my ears, oh, my brother, can I get your support? Or I whisper into your ears, my brother, can I also get your support? But it is left at that informal level.
There hasn't been a formal approach. You say, Mr. Addai Nimo, can you back?
No.
Hasn't been. I'm pretty sure you've heard the allegations, one of the aspirants claiming that they made him an offer of some money to drop out of the race. You've heard that?
Well, I have read it on social media, and so I cannot establish the veracity of it.
Has anybody made an offer like that?
No, not at all. Because, I mean, the kind of information is so huge for me to really comprehend. If you look at the amount of money they have.
But categorically, the candidate who was accused just categorically denied that happened. I'm just curious to see if any approach was made.
No, I have not been in such a situation.
Okay. Now, you have said that your party can break the 8, and you've given us conditions.
Sure.
One of your conditions is, one, unity. So you believe the party is disunited?
Of course, it's an open secret. And united we stand, divided we fall.
How about is it disunited?
United, we break the 8. Divided, we don't break the 8.
How about is it disunity in your party now?
Well, I mean, we have a figure like Mr. Alan Chamanti who has left the party. And it's a source of worry. Nobody can refute it. And so, I mean, that is his personal decision that I do respect.
Do you have any sympathies for the reasons?
Of course, I mean, the intimidations and coercion. The superdelegate elections, we all witnessed it. And indirect intimidation or direct intimidation and coercion, it has effect on outcome of elections because people are vulnerable. People are vulnerable. So if you want to capitalize on the vulnerability of people by way of coercing them to toe a certain line that they may not like, I mean, does it indicate a fair process?
Have you experienced that yourself or your...
Oh, no, yes. Yes, I do.
Yourself?
Well, yes. I mean, if I come to a region to campaign and response to my request to meet a regional executive committee receives a lukewarm attitude, can't it be an indirect intimidation process? Yes. Meanwhile, you have made a contribution to the party. You have filed your nomination, which comes with a cost, and you have got to meet the delegates. So it's the responsibility of the aspirants and the delegates to interact.
We just simply don't want to meet you. I mean, that's
Why?
having to do with intimidation.
Why? Why don't you want to meet an aspirant?
You're almost suggesting that somebody is orchestrating this decision of the delegates not to meet you.
Oh, no. I mean, I cannot figure it out, Evans. So for me, the essential point I have made that for the party to be able to achieve a historical record of going beyond 8 years in government, probably go for 12 years and 16 years, unity is key to achieving that.
And you also say performance.
Yes.
Your party in government, has it performed to merit, to deserve another term?
Well, the performance may vary, and so you always have the opportunity to improve.
But as we speak,
and currently, we are going through hardships within the country. So citizens are really going through that. And government has admitted. We are running an IMF program. My expectation is that by the time the second tranche is received and we enter next year, there should be a remarkable improvement in the performance of the economy. That recovery. And we will see that recovery if government is able to regularly meet its indebtedness payment.
You know what you know. You are a party member. Do you have the confidence that that will be done? To pave the way for breaking the 8? Are you that confident?
Well, so far, since we had a IMF bailout agreement reached, we've already received the first tranche of 600 million. The second tranche is expected in November, maybe up to December, it should come in. And that should be able to give a relief to government in servicing its debt and in making sure that new projects, regular payment of projects which are ongoing, and supplies and consultancy services can be met regularly.
Give me your quick verdict on the performance so far. Happy or unhappy?
Well, as it is now, I believe that most Ghanaians are unhappy.
Are you me? Are you a Ghanaian too? Are you happy or unhappy?
I'm in the category of unhappiness.
So you're unhappy with the performance of your government so far?
We're talking about now.
Yes, now.
Now.
Yes, now.
Maybe some time ago.
Yes, but now you're unhappy with the performance of your government.
And that is why we are saying that there should be that improvement with the prudent use of the IMF facility that will come in for the second tranche. And the third tranche is expected sometime next year, April or May. And by the time all these inflows should come in, that recovery of the economy, we should be seeing a remarkable improvement. So that is the second point.
That's the second point.
And you know what? It also has an effect on the outcome of elections.
Yes, which is what you've said, that's how you break the egg. Okay, Francis Addai Nimo, thank you very much. Give me a number. What percentage are you projecting to get?
Evans, but you haven't touched on the third point.
Yeah, because of time.
Because of time.
Yes. Bullet it for me.
And that is the face to lead the party.
Which you say is your face?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we'll see. The delegates will decide. I'm saying, tell me what you believe to be your number.
The surprise will happen come Saturday, 4th November.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see here on Election Headquarters.
I'm Dr. Osofri Akoto. I'm pleading with you to vote for me come 4th November. I appear number 3 on the ballot paper. Your decision in the coming election will decide whether indeed we break the 8. I have a vision to raise the fortunes of the NPP and to reward those hard-working activists like yourself who have served this party diligently over the years. A vote for Dr. Akoto is a vote for competence and a vote for unity in the NPP. Thank you.